broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world. As Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hey, welcome to Home Talk USA. This is the Invent America show right here on the Home Talk USA radio family through King's Broadcasting all across this great country. If you want to listen to the show, it's very easy. Just go to HomeTalkUSA.com, hit our live stream button. There's a whole bunch of ways you can carry our show. You can do live streaming. You can go down to your local radio station, the podcasts, all the different websites we on that carry this show, and plus our archives at Home Talk USA, Rita, because we always archive everything we say on the show, right? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because if I ever get sued, man, I'm just like turning them to give them the evidence. So there it is, right there. He said it. No,
I know, but
Rita,
I've had inventors go and say, I could go back on your site and look for the topics that were relevant to me at the time. That I'm looking for, help at a certain stage. And it's been wonderful.
Well, Rita, I just want to mention, we broke it. Last week, we broke episode 1100 last week. And this is episode 1101. So I kind of kept it quiet a little bit. And what a milestone that we're going to have a very special show today. Episode 1101. That is amazing amount of time and effort and content. And it's amazing. I was so grateful for GCN for allowing and sending all them old files of all the radio interviews we've did. And it's amazing because we have them. And like you said, information changes, topic doesn't, advancement changes. But hey, and that's what I want to talk about right now, Rita. I want to discuss the best trade shows because for U.S. inventors, because we have in another 3 months, me and you are going to be on the road a lot. Okay, we're going to be doing the show on the road a lot. Got a lot of shows, and then I'm going to be doing that conference with Greg in Florida. Down there, we're going to have all the American manufacturers coming in one place, and boy, I'm going to have them all in one room. Or they're in trouble, or are they in trouble? I'm gonna lock the door. They're not gonna get out. I'm gonna lock the door.
I know. And you get to cover us at Greg's this year, and then I will be with you next year. And we are getting teed up for ASD Market Week. And
great show.
It's when I talk to inventors, they'll ask me, well, what show should I go to? And there's a show for every industry in America. I've been to the National Asphalt Show. And while I don't think they would have probably done very well at ASD Market Week, they're not a consumer gadget or a consumer product. And so what we look at ASD Market Week for is any U.S. consumer product. And for that, it is way above anything else. And part of it is because you can meet so many people. You can meet more people in 4 days than you can in a year trying to go at it by yourself. And that's what it's all about, is meeting people, and we learned, as much about, different services that companies would have as we did about getting our own products out there. It was absolutely amazing.
Well, there's nothing that beats touch, feel, and hold.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why everybody said, and I had to cut my schedule down due to budgetary restraints. I like that word, budgetary restraints. But I had to cut, man, I was doing it all. A roofing show, swimming show, IBS, hardware, remodelers. I was out there. The world of concrete, huge.
Yeah.
But you have to limit yourself because you just simply don't have that kind of money to be running around. It's $10,000 to $15,000 per show that I have to cover. That's a lot of money, and especially today's market. So we have to be very, very. Now, obviously, we love to get sponsors. And last year at the International Building Show, I had a great sponsor. Deck Wright came in and sponsored us and got us there, and it helped a little bit. But at the end of the day, it goes down to touch, feel, and hold, right?
Absolutely.
Right,
yeah. We learned nobody put pandemic in their 2020 business plan. And so a lot of folks went to the virtual shows just because it was still the only way. And what we learned is virtual doesn't work very well. No. You don't get to touch the product. You don't get to look somebody in the eye. You don't get to shake their hand. And that is huge when it comes to moving product. They want to see you. They want to touch the product.
Well, and you heard me mention it in the past, I've had the fortune to do a television show and, do my radio show. And, one thing about TV, everybody always asks me, what's the difference? In TV, I'm an actor. I can act and I might not believe what I'm saying, but you believe what I'm saying. So I could fake it on television. I'm real good at it, But it's one thing you can't fake is radio, man. If you can explain me how to fake radio, it can't happen. Because what? People know. They know your feeling. They know your response. They know if you're sincere or not. You cannot lie on radio, man. You just can't do it.
I've had inventors say, well, can I show my product? And I say, you do understand it's radio.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, yeah. And it's like, now, when we do the video, yes, you can show your product, and that's great because people like to know that you are a real person. But, radio is all about the story. It's about your voice. You've got to create the picture, the visual picture with your voice.
That's right. Yep. And that's an amazing. And the people that can do that is the ones that are successful. That's been successful on this show. That can, and we help them do that. And that's part of what you do. Is kind of help them. A matter of fact, that led to show what you did last week, how to market your product, how to sell your product, market it by selling it that way, not sell it. Well, you know what I'm saying? Not sell it.
I know. You've
sell
got to be
the
able
product.
Right. Yeah. You've got to be able to, create the picture in someone's mind with your voice. Yeah. And we had a gentleman on, an inventor who had the balance briefs, very cool product. He had people calling him as soon as the show aired on that Saturday. And he goes, oh my God. He said, this is so cool. And so he's going to actually be joining us to take his product to ASD Market Week. And people learn about products. The American consumer hears about the products that are going to be good ones for them, and they go out and they look for them.
Yeah. And again, most of the shows that you're talking about are closed to the public. Now, there's some open consumer shows like the Home Builders Associations across America. They, it's open to the public, but these are closed trade shows that we're talking about.
Well, a lot of people can get into ASD Market Week. Consumers can go in. Yeah, they can go in.
I didn't know that.
So it is one of those that touches both sides, which is really great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can learn something every day, Rita.
There you go. So, we have really enjoyed working with ASD Market Week and with Stephanie, who's going to be my industry expert on this show. But all of the folks, it was so much fun because last year everybody came by to introduce themselves and take a look at the space and to talk about the products and say, holy cow, this is really cool. And
I know you came back from it, and I was kind of hesitant. You remember when you mentioned it last year? Well, because what happened at that other trade show, and you were kind of hesitant. I was hesitant. Another, just take your money and run. And then all of a sudden you came back, man. You're like, I wish you, I'll tell you what, we're going to play that. I think I'm going to look at that archives and play that interview you did right after that last year. That was like, wow.
It was amazing. It was
an amazing show. Yeah.
Better show in 4 days than we had combined over the last 12 years.
I think you just said the point, the intertwine that went on between the manufacturer, the inventor, and the consumer that had a chance to. Because you see, and again, you're making a good point, because at, say, a home builder show that's open to the public, obviously the manufacturers aren't there. It's just the guy selling the product that bought that little $1,000 booth. You know what I mean? But you got them all. I mean, you got the consumer talking to the manufacturer that's actually making the product so you got no misinformation. And I think that's the asset of the show. And I tell you what, you need to talk to these people about letting me market their show, because I get it now. I didn't get it last year. I get it now.
Yeah, it was amazing.
She's laughing. I'm watching her right now on live radio.
We had people that were taking orders and selling inventory. We had one of the groups came by, sold a service to one of our inventors, doubled his sales in 6 months.
Wow.
We had others that came by that were the licensees, the potential licensees, that gave incredible feedback to some of our inventors who were in the early prototype stages. They went back and they completely redid it. I've got now one of those inventors. I don't know that she's going to be going with us because she's taking orders faster than she can manufacture, which is cool because that never happened before.
Matthew's cutting us off right now. We're going to take a short break. All right, we got to pay some bills. This is Home Talk USA. I'll be right back with the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, with our first guest. Yeah, the Cajun Man. Y'all come back now, yeah? Hey, welcome back to Home Talk USA. I'm the Cajun Man from the Bayou Land. I'm the originator, not the duplicator. And as the Inventor Lady says herself, don't accept no substitutions, huh, Rita?
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. We got to pay some bills right now. This segment of the show is sponsored by one of my oldest sponsors called Aztec Washer. Revolutionary, invented roofing products since 1968. Seal it right, seal it tight with AztecWasher.com. All right, Rita, I just paid some bills here. So I fulfilled my contract obligation. What do you think?
There you go. You did a good job, father of Home Talk USA.
Yeah. Oh, no. You see, everybody wants me to, they can see me now, but Rita, I know you want to talk to Jenny, what is it, Salimi?
Salimi. Yeah, Salimi. Close.
Oh, look at her right there. All right. Well, what do you want to ask her? Thank you for joining the show.
We're talking about ASD Market Week and, from a big picture, how important those trade shows are for inventors getting new products out there. People want to see it. They want to look you in the eye. And so, when we're looking now at what we feel is the best show for for us to go to, it's hands down ASD Market Week. And last year, Jenny was with us. She was bringing, it wasn't a brand new introduction, but it was the first time she did a wholesale sale at ASD Market Week. So Jenny, tell our audience about the Brazzle. It is really a cool product.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So it is a fashion accessory, more specifically a bra strap aligner. It was basically created for myself. I was trying to wear those cute thin strap dresses or tank tops, but I could never get my bra straps to align with it. So I either just wore the dress anyway and let my bra hang out, look super tacky and tragic, or I just stopped wearing those outfits altogether. So I came up with this idea called the Brazzle. And let me show you. You can go from this.
Well, tacky. Remember, we are on radio, Jenny.
Oh, you could go from, that's right.
There you go. So
if you can picture this, picture a girl wearing a thin strapped, beautiful dress, but then she's also wearing a thin strap bra that's popping out on both straps on the backside. Totally ruins the outfit, right? So that's where the Brazzle came into play. I invented it, launched it this year, and it's been a dream come true. So basically, like I said, it's for fuller chested figured women who have the same issue that I do. And I know that there's a lot of us out there, and no, men, we do not want to show our bra straps. That's not part of the attire plan.
It is not. So thank you for that. And we'll get you on some videos so that everybody can see what you've got.
Sure.
But tell us how you benefited from ASD Market Week last year.
Oh gosh, it was so great. So just starting out with a new product, it's helpful for a buyer to buy something they can touch. But then on top of that, when the product is new to market and nobody's heard of it, it's so important for them to see you in person. And you just meet so many people. The walking traffic is key. You get so much more exposure than you would have otherwise. Plus, you make a lot of good friends. And you're also in a booth with a ton of other like-minded people with their inventions as well. It was such a blast for me.
So, and you did a really good job. And, the thing is that when you're sharing the space, when we're all there together looking out for each other, you can go out then and go over to the fashion area.
Oh, yeah.
And you can show your product. Whereas if you're there all alone and it's new, all right, you don't really know the rules and how you got to play the game. It's hard to be able to go out and do anything separate from the booth because you got to be in the booth. So ASD Market Week for our inventors, because everybody's trying to learn, when they get ready to go by themselves and get their own space at ASD or, the hardware show or, someplace specific, now they know. They know kind of how to display their product. They know, what they can be, how long they can be away or not. I mean, there's some shows that say you cannot leave your booth unattended. Well, now what? Okay, because you've got to use the restroom and it's nice to get something to eat. But when you miss that walking around, you miss a huge benefit that any show offers. But when we go as a team to ASD, holy cow. I mean, that was, somebody would come back and say, oh, you need to go over here and look at this booth because this person was over there and they've got your kind of product. And so everybody worked as a team and it was huge for us.
Oh, yeah, it was so helpful. Everybody had each other's back. And just like you said, I left for the restroom or a lunch break and I come back and someone's excited because they collected a couple business cards of people who are interested. And you're kind of learning the spiel of how to introduce someone else's product too. So, yeah, it was a blast.
It was a lot of fun. And I think, a lot of our inventors really learned a lot. I know that, Leland Black, who was on the other side of the space, he met somebody that was that was doing Amazon and he hired them then to do his, Amazon sales. And he goes, they doubled his sales in about 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And it was amazing. And then we had, the lady down at the end, Wendy Short. All right, who got some really good advice on her product. And now she's getting an order of 2,000 that will be in by ASD in March.
You are kidding me. Oh, I love to hear that.
She's got people putting orders in already and she hasn't even placed her order yet.
Oh my gosh.
So it's, and that all happened at ASD Market Week last year. So it was really, really amazing that, we were able to get this out there. So what's next for Brazzle?
Well, I am going to continue networking the heck out of myself and the product. It's about exposure, right? Who can you meet? You're constantly networking, whether it's at a neighborhood gathering, farmer's market, gas station. You basically try to figure out a way to intertwine that topic of your invention in every conversation, whether they know what's hitting them or not. But really, you never know who you're going to meet. So for me, it's just being part of like-minded groups, being around people who can put me in front of the right people and who I can help as well. It's not all about just me, but yeah, it's just for me, networking, meeting tons of people.
Well, that's excellent. And I am sure that you want to consider the fact that you may be joining us at ASD Market Week in March.
Absolutely.
We would love to have you. So quickly, what advice do you have for our listening inventors out there?
Advice as far as when they're at
how to sell a product, how to get their product out there.
Oh gosh, yes. Well, you have to be very present on social media, which I know a lot of eye rolls on that. Same for even me. It's not my favorite thing, but you just have to. You have to be really easily found online. So your website has to be solid and it doesn't have to be anything magical. Just make sure it clearly defines the product. It's an easy website. Again, make sure that if they need to contact you, your email is present, your cell phone or whatever contact method is present. So just make sure that you're easy to be found. That's the number one key.
Excellent. Excellent. So if you're an inventor out there or you know someone who is an inventor and they're getting a product teed up, have them get in touch because we have got topics covering every part of the inventing relay race, if you can think of a better word, because it is a race on who gets to market first. So have them get in touch if you need a good service provider. If you're thinking, holy cow, I don't want to call this guy back up, call me. I do answer my phone. I will answer a text message and I will email you. I do all of those. And certainly know the good service providers out there. And if you've got a product and you're ready to show off, we would love to have you join the team for ASD Market Week in March. So we will be right back with our next guest who is also there with us in a little bit different stages than Jenny was. So she's going to fill you in on her point of view and what is next for her product. So be with us again as soon as we come back in just a few minutes. And now we are off to pay some bills, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Invent America. And we do invent America because America invents. And one of our topics coming up in probably October is going to be some of the history behind inventing and how long we have been tracking intellectual property. So watch for that one. This segment is brought to us by Bond Products. It's for do-it-yourself carpet binding. There is only one Instabind, bondproducts.com, and we are grateful to Bond Products. Our next guest is Leslie Holland. She was at ASD Market Week last year, and she learned a lot, found someone maybe interested in her product, but she's had some things that she's had to do since the show. So, Leslie, thank you so much for being with us today. Tell everybody about the jewelry closet.
Thanks, Rita. It's good to see you again, or hear you again. The jewelry closet is the first and only modular jewelry organizer. I'm looking for licensing partners. I think it's going to be a great sell, but the whole point is that it is a very compact vertical design, and it comes with interchangeable parts so that women can design their own layout according to what their storage needs are, because today's jewelry organizers never have enough space, and they definitely don't have the right kind of space. So the jewelry closet has been very carefully and meticulously designed, and it is really the answer to everybody's needs when we're all using different kinds of storage tools, boxes, bags, hooks, hangers, etc. We're losing our pieces. We can't find them. They're tangled up. And then we all end up wearing the same pieces day after day after day. So this solves all that. All the pieces have their very own place. They're easily accessible, so that you save a lot of time, and we can make sure that women not only enjoy their collection, but they can look their very best every day because they've got that perfect piece to go with that outfit.
Well, and most men out there, all you guys out there don't realize it, but not one jewelry box fits all women. We all have different collections and different ways to store those and hang those so they don't get tangled. So where the jewelry closet is so different is that it allows every woman to create then her own style of storing her jewelry and taking care of it, which is, I think, a wonderful option. And I know that, it's like, oh, here's a cute new jewelry box, honey, and I'm sure you're going to love it. It's like, It looks just like the last one I had, so that's okay, honey. So how did ASD Market Week benefit you last year?
Wow, Rita, it was what I just would call it a really big accelerator for the jewelry closet. For first and foremost, of course, like Jenny said, it is so nice to be in amongst your fellow inventors because it is a lonely pathway. And to meet other people that have gone through this similar journey was just wonderful. The other benefit of being part of Invent America at ASD was the fact that when we were approached by people expressing interest, we could immediately have access to expertise and opinions through the Invent America folks like yourself, Rita. So that was invaluable. For me, finally, the validation that I really it looks as though I really do have a viable product that's going to solve a lot of issues for a lot of people. I had two companies approach me about licensing deals. One of them actually has access to a very, very large market, so that's exciting. Unfortunately, I don't have product just yet because I'm taking the licensing route. I think it's just a lot smarter and a lot faster to go through companies that already are doing that. They know what they're doing. And then best of all was that I was surprised and very pleased to have won the Invent America 2024 Innovation Award. So again, I can't thank you enough. I posted that on my website. And so it was just such a positive reinforcer that, I should just keep going. And on the 25th of June, I got my first patent on the product. So it just seems I have a lot of things working in my favor, and it just propels me to just go.
Well, and that's wonderful because, like we were talking about, you can gear the jewelry box to be what you need it to be. So you can, it can be, a smaller, littler one that you can add to as you have more of a collection. Some girl going to college may only need a small one, but, as she gets older and she's got more of a collection and she inherits from her mother and her grandmother, well, some of those things you want to take really good care of. I know I've got stuff from my grandmother, and my daughters will get it, but I don't want to just sitting in a box somewhere.
Well, that's right, Rita. And I don't know that people really understand that the jewelry industry is worth $350 billion around the world. The organizer market, $27 billion. And yet here we are where there's not really a product on the market that's really going to do justice for these gorgeous collections that women love. And so I'm hoping, well, not hoping, I will make sure that this gets to market because so many people can really benefit from this product.
Well, you've got a walk-in closet that has your long dresses in a place, and it's got your shoes in a place and your sweaters in a place. Holy cow. Why wouldn't you have a jewelry closet so that you can hang your necklaces and see them just like you do your dresses hanging there or your sweaters? So gentlemen, I know, I'm sorry, this is kind of leaving you out, but the whole idea here is that you have an idea. You take the right steps to get a product into the marketplace. You go to a trade show. I get people that say, well, I'll just do a Kickstarter campaign. No, holy cow. It takes you 6 months to set up a campaign. And then it costs a lot of money. They think, oh, I'll do it to raise money. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're paying somebody. It's going to cost you more than going to a trade show. And so when we look at getting the inventors together, so many of the inventors would never have gone to the show, not alone. And certainly not with the big splash that we're able to make under the Invent America sign. And the fact that, we've got ASD as sponsors for the radio show. So they're looking out for all of the inventors as well. We would never have that opportunity to get those products out there if it wasn't for going as a team.
That's true. The other thing that's interesting is that during COVID, there was a big reduction in doing product development. So it's only a great benefit to companies that they can find inventors like us who really have these great ideas and good products, and we've got these functional prototypes to show off. We've done a lot of work for them, and I would love to see them take advantage of a lot of the work that's been done during that same time frame.
I agree with you. I know that, when we were out there, there were buyers that would come up. There were companies that would do licensing. There were companies that were selling services. And one of the big ones that we learned about that you fit into right now is the R&D tax credit. No, I thought it was a scam the first time they came up and started talking to us. I had no idea that it was actually a real thing, but we have since found out not only is it a real thing, but most inventors have no idea that they qualify for it.
Yes, Rita, I'm actually following up with my CPA on that very thing. And people have to know it was 100% of a write-off up through 2021. And I just am very lucky because that's exactly when I started really spending the money on this. So I'm really going to pursue it. And thank you so much. You're the one that brought it to my attention. So I really appreciate that. Well,
and, we are trying to bring it to the attention of, all the inventors across the country and different groups that they want to have one of those speakers come and talk to them. But if it hadn't been for ASD Market Week, I would never have met them. And we still wouldn't know that that is an option because there's not a single every other president that I have talked to for the different inventors groups saying, wait a minute, what? They had no idea either. We learned a lot. We met good service providers out there as opposed to some of the other shows that it's the same old, going. I mean, there was a big difference made on our part on the services that we offer our inventors and what we learned, but then on the different types of buyers and services that our inventors could, meet those people that were, buyers for different stores, an independent store owner. It made a huge difference for us.
Well, yeah, and it was, as I said, great to be part of that group, and it's really propelled me forward. So I feel like I'm right on the brink of success, thanks in large part to being part of that group at ASD Market Week.
So, well, we were so happy to have you. It was a pleasure to meet you there. That was the first time you and I had met. And it makes a huge difference when you can be face to face and meet the people you want to work with. And while you can do some of that virtually, it's certainly a lot more fun when we are there. And when it's all said and done, we can go have a glass of wine together.
That's right. That's right. Well,
All
thanks
right.
again, Rita. It was
So,
great.
well, Leslie, thanks for being with us. And again, we do this so that we can provide good information to everybody out there, as far as, inventing, but also that we can provide really cool new products to everyone out there. So if you hear of a product that is on Invent America and you would like to know where to go and buy that, you can shoot me over an email. You can find that inventor on our website, invent-america.com. If you've got questions, you can join us at the Inventors Roundtable. We do 2 meetings a month. They're virtual. And so we will have people from Florida to California at these meetings. And Stephanie is going to be our guest speaker in September. So join us, America. Ask your questions. Join us on the radio. It's free to be on the radio, by the way. Just fill out the form that is on the site that says, do you want to be on the radio? Yes is the answer. And it will ask you all the right questions. And then I have the information I need to give you a call. So stick with us, America. We will be right back with our industry expert, Stephanie herself from ASD Market Week. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America, which is brought to us by Sherrill Manufacturing, America's only flatware made in the U.S. So all of your flatware, dinnerware, cookware, glassware, Liberty Tabletop is your go-to company, and we all want to support Made in America. So my guest this hour, my industry expert, is Stephanie with ASD Market Week. She was instrumental in our success last year, and I know she will be again this year. So Stephanie, thanks so much for being with us.
Rita, it feels so good to be back, and it's so nice to see a friendly face. I know we're on radio, but we get to have this Zoom thing, and just seeing you just makes me so happy. So excited to be here today.
Well, it will be nice to see you actually person to person out there again. So, I tell our listeners, why is ASD Market Week the best show?
So first of all, affordable shopping destination, that is what we call ourselves. That is our brand, but really we're built on humans. We're built on all these stories and the people that are behind them. So I think that it was so nice. The first time I got to listen before I jumped in for this session. And your guest speaker said it best, being an inventor is a lonely road. Yeah. And the best tool that you have is, as an inventor, you've created something and you're the best brand recognition that can be present at an event where everybody who comes to this event is looking to network, have conversation, and see some amazing products. So ASD, that's what we do. We pull in all the people together.
Well, you do, and you did a wonderful job on that. Although we wanted to petition you to have the name changed to America Stands Determined.
Oh, I like that one.
So, because everybody that was out there was like, by golly, we are going to do this. We are going to sell product. We're going to get to the next step. And everyone was absolutely determined. It was like, and they all asked me, what is it? What is the ASD? And it's like, by then, we knew, affordable shopping destination, but it's like, okay, all right. And we're thinking America Stands Determined, and there we go. So that is part of the Invent America slogan that we have, America Stands Determined and Market Week. So you can play on that when we're out there.
Love it.
We will be doing the Innovation Awards. I know last year we just kind of put it together and got everybody, to come over and vote. So we will do more of that this year because we want more of the attendees to come over and take a look at what is in our booth. We want them to vote on, the product that they think is going to have the most impact on the consumer market. And so, when we're talking about how inventors benefit from going to ASD, one of the things that we look at is, the spot that we were at, under the Invent America banner, that was the only real innovation section that focused on those new products. Tell us how that worked for you guys then. What was your point of determining that was good for you guys?
It was so exciting having your umbrella on that floor and you representing all these inventors, because it's exciting. And I think you said it previously as well, where it's a buyer-seller's market where buyers are looking, they're curious to see what's the next big thing that's going to really excite their consumers. So what you did was you made it very easy for a buyer to come to a platform and have candid conversations of what does this do and does this fit my retail store or my e-commerce store or whatever it may be. So you really helped us because it invigorated the floor and you really guided those that were part of your group. You said, no, you know what, let's ask more questions about this. Or no, you know what, this is such a good thing for you. Let's ask even more questions and validate this for you. So I cannot say how instrumental you are in having that presence on that floor of really getting our buyers to say, okay, we got to check this out because we need this for our market. We need this newness and freshness.
Well, and that's one of the things that we noticed last year is that, there were certainly some buyouts. There were, companies that are selling product. But, buyers, they want to go and look and see what's new. The old is the old. We know where to get that. Well, let's go and see what's new. And that made a huge difference there.
And with buyers, a lot of them will buy their core items that they know sells routinely, right? But they have to sprinkle in that 10 to 15% product line. That's what they're looking for new. So right. For them to go to somebody who actually created it, who can explain it, who can say, this is why I packaged it, this is how I would present it. You can't get that anywhere except for if you're in person and you really feel out that person and you get to touch that product. So I think that part is very, very important to the business.
Well, it wasn't, somebody is, like you said, the average shelf life of a product is 7 years. Now, if you're in technology, it's 6 months, but for a hammer, it's, it's going to be 30 years. But depending on, the industry, average is about 7 years. So buyers know they've got to rotate new products. They've got to look and see, all right, this product's not doing so well. Maybe technology is no longer friendly to that product. What's new? What's taking its place? And where they can say, okay, we do pet products, and they can come and they can see, 3 or 4 brand new products for, different pets, dogs and cats. They might be able to say, okay, we've got the baby industry. We're looking at now, new products for the children's market. Tools is always a big one for us. And we had some guys there. We had never met them at the other show, which was for tools. And they were there and they were so excited on the products they were seeing that were brand new. It's like, when can we get this one? We might want to license this one. How many can we order of this one? And it was really invigorating. Every day was just so exciting there that, it's like, what do you mean it's time to pack up and go home?
And that's the differentiator for ASD Market Week. We're so inclusive and we bring out all scopes of retailers. So when we talk about tools and gifts and just think of any kind of product under the sun, they want to see what it is and what they can incorporate that's trending also alongside the market so they can be part of that movement because that means money for them. So I think you're right on.
Well, one of my staff people that I take with me, she had invented and patented years ago an insert for a pair of chaps. All right. And she had been trying, you want to know where she found the licensee for that product? At ASD Market Week. And her patent is like 15 years old and she's been working this thing. It wasn't until she was there. And she goes, oh my God. And she was so excited and they have been great. So, it was a wonderful show. And the fact that, it's such a large show, it covers every consumer product that's out there, from the hot tub tool that we had to, new fashion chaps for writing accessories. So it was awesome. We are looking forward to being there this year coming up. We are getting everybody and all of our inventors teed up and ready to go. So thank you so much for being our guest today. And everybody out there, if you know an inventor who's got a new product to show off, whether they have inventory or they just want feedback on prototypes, now is the time to have them reach out, get in touch, because we are putting the team together for Invent America at America Stands Determined, or better known as ASD Market Week 2025. Stephanie, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Rita.
See you all. Talk to you all in a week. Join us again next week for Invent America. Thanks, everybody.